To the moon and
Hello there
back
everyone,
again.
this is Iron Mark III and welcome to a round of Space Haven, a game on early access and Steam. Yes, it falls in the lines of the likes of DF9, if you remember that one, and other similar games where we are a bunch of people on a space platform and we have to do all the stuff. So that kind of boils it down very neatly. So it's a simulation slash spaceship builder kind of game, some roguelike elements to it, stuff like that. So, since this one has been on my radar for quite a while, I figured since it's in early access, I would splash the cash, get a copy of it, and do a dive in. So I've done a couple of pokes into it. I've looked a little around the early game kind of thing, and that's about as far as I've gone. So I've not really wandered too far, if I'm going to be honest. I've died a couple of times as well, which is great. But at least I have an idea what I'm doing. So, Space Haven. Right now there's one game mode and two scenarios. You and your crew have left Earth behind and the stars await you. First though, you need to build a ship. You have a basic platform and some essential supplies, but you'll need to build everything else yourself. Play this scenario to learn the basic game mechanics. Or there's the abandoned mining station. Mining station was abandoned at the height of the crisis on Earth and has now been repurposed as a shipyard. Use its facilities to build your ship from scratch and strike out into the unknown. Play this scenario if you want more freedom to build a truly customized spaceship. Note, it is not recommended to play this scenario as a first playthrough. Well, I'm going to play the basic platform, and I'm going to take the same name as Nimbartus, so Tubermiratus. We'll do that. Next up, now we have some things, and just because I'm a complete idiot, I'm thinking I'm going into harsh. We get there's fewer resources out there, so it's been like scraping for survival, and upgrading is going to be a struggle. But you know, it's not going to be too bad. Well, it's probably going to be horrible, but hey, we're surviving after the fall of Earth, basically. So, you know, kind of bad. Actually, can I drop to scenario? No. Because I don't want scenario hints going on. Harsh, we get less of everything. We get the 4 most basic weapons possible to start out. Starting sector resources, various rules we could adjust if we care to. There is one thing I'm going to adjust though, which is I'm going to increase my crew from 4 to 6. Just because I've heard that it's hard to get crew earlier on, and I also know that having less crew can make the progression earlier on a lot slower. Though this is counterbalanced by the fact I have to feed and supply those extra crew as well. So there'll be an extra drain on food, there'll be an extra drain on oxygen supplies. I don't get extra guns for them, or I could probably change that, but no you don't. So I'm going to leave it at 4 starting guns and that kind of thing. So this is our crew. We can see the overall skills down the side here. We've got 2 miners, 2 medicals, 2 weapons. Those are grey. They're not red, which is critical. But we've got an okay amount of a lot of the other stuff like botany, construction industry. So yeah, but we can actually look at the individual people, change their colouring and stuff. And I think we can re-roll them if we want to. Yeah, we can. Oh, clumsy. Clumsy person often has accidents because they do not behave in a careful and controlled way. Accidents basically fail a task and it has to be started again. But clumsy, that's bad. Hard worker, an iron-willed, talkative, another hard worker, and a needy. Needs to be around others or will quickly feel overwhelmed by loneliness. Okay. The other one I'm thinking of re-rolling actually is like Camilla, because she's got clumsy. But as you can see, their stats affect different things like moving speed, recovery, how quickly they learn. Chances to surrender, bravery minus 15%. Yeah, if you're in a fight, minus 40%. Actually, I don't know if negative is good or bad on that. Based on perception for... I would have thought better perception. Oh wait, yeah, minus is reduced chance. Okay, never mind. So all my people are fairly brave except for leader, apparently. But yeah, minus 15 on surrender is actually just fine. That clumsy though is 12% accident chance. I don't want that, so I'm gonna reroll. That leaves us with only one gunner though, so roll again. Needy. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, that's my crew. So, off we go. Wondering why a crew member is taking a long time to heal? They might have multiple injuries, which could take many days to heal. Give them time to rest. Alright. Okay. Don't auto open. So, because this is, I didn't manage to disable tutorial, I've got tutorial objectives, which is going to give me the basics on playing. Right now, though, tools facility. Anything you do requires tools. So that's something you need, and that's down here in resources. Tools facility. It says it converts infra blocks into 50 points worth of tools, and when it's operation, it produces heat. Right now, because I've got a starting platform, I'm going to be arranging stuff in a temporary pattern more than anything else. And I'll just, for the heck of it, I'm going to plant them down next to the power generator. So that's going to be a tool facility. I'll also tell it to make a water purifier, because we'll need that to keep things supplied. Right now, everyone's in spacesuits, so I need to be aware of that as well. So that should be the life support. Yeah. Oxygen generator takes water, so that's why we need the water purifier. Well, one of the reasons. And produces oxygen for the local area. It can diffuse through doors, because doors have built-in vents and things. But it's also an issue, so that's something that needs to be up soon too. And a gas scrubber removes harmful stuff, like it removes carbon dioxide, it removes smoke, and it removes hazardous gases, and it produces small amounts of various resources as it does so. So, yeah, also good. But the tool facility is producing tools, and that's why it said get that first, just because it's going to take a while to get things sorted out. Yeah. People are just getting all the supplies around. They're running the tool facility flat out because I don't have manual control over that. The tool facility in this current version just like auto does it. I don't have to tell it to do anything in particular. But everything else basically requires tools, so that's why it's so important, and it doesn't need tools to actually make it. So, hooray. Luckily though, there is faster speeds available, so we can speed things up. Now, there are other things I could be doing, because we are basically waiting on some stuff. So, if I zoom out, this is my local cluster. This is the system I'm in. Well, not the system, the point within the system, so I guess local cluster is an okay term for it. And right now I've got the 4 mining spots, and I've got a derelict ship. A derelict ship needs to be fully swept and cleared by armed people, and then that can be stripped for materials and things like that. So that's a boarding action kind of thing. The rocks, they can just be harvested to get what it says, so this has got 9 out of 9, 11 out of 11. You know, just harvest in general. Harvesting is done by your worker bees kind of things, which are these guys. And boarding and cargo transfer is done by this thing, which is the shuttle. And mostly for resources, they work through the airlocks, which are here. They can't really operate just from their docking points, but yeah, that's the kind of thing. So this thing does have a good framework already for supporting crafts, supporting your main ship or main ships, depending on how you do it. Or you could take the route of just building a station and then having another ship like in the other scenario, and it'll go off and do whatever you want it to do. That kind of thing. I'm also going to... It says build one. I'm going to move one. So I'm just going to take this one here and move it, because it scraps it down and then builds a new one at the target point. So it doesn't strictly say move it, it'll lose any kind of orders if it has any. That kind of thing. So yeah, I think my next action is actually going to be clear the derelict. Let's do that. So Carolyn, actually let's do shift click to select all these. I'm going to draft everyone. Draft means they're under your direct control, they won't automatically do stuff. And tell them all to come and collect from the cargo bay, because the cargo bay is where our starting pistols are. And I think I need to just go through it like this. So give them all the pistols. It does show nearby inventories and things, but it's like... I'm not quite... I know I can use it to pass through person, so I could dump it all on the ground. That would have worked too. Anyway, I've got all these. Now I need to tell them to actually go into the shuttle. By the way, this is all stuff that the thing would have walked me through on the objectives. But I'm sending all 4 just because I've got basic pistols, and so they are weak. They are very weak. They're basic pistols for a reason. But anyway, select that, dock it, and I can tell it to go and dock at this place here. Because the shuttle is also drafted, so it's under my direct control. It won't automatically do anything. But the people fly. Now, things to note. These guys, when they launch, like shuttles and the mining pods, they actually have onboard oxygen supply. And derelicts like this, they don't have oxygen. So, your people actually need to come back to the airlock with a docked ship in it to resupply their oxygen tanks every once in a while. But there we go. You 4 are all out, and I'm going to tell you guys to start moving as soon as I get you selected properly. There we go. Look at this. I'm doing my own hostile boarding action. You can do this on NPC ships and things as well. So it's not just derelicts you can do it to. And I know that later on things do get more difficult, and pirates... I did try boarding a pirate's ship in one of my test games, and I got murdered. So, as I said, it's even if you send all 4, which is the limit of what your shuttle can take, it's just to be safe rather than sorry, you know? Because if you're not careful, you could lose the people like this. I mean, derelicts often have bugs on them. Well, I know there's something nastier later on, but I've never seen it, so I don't know. But my job is sweep and clear, find out everything and clear out any hostiles, and then I can actually properly get to work on this ship. Oh, there's a hostile there. And a couple of guys are trying to pot shot at it. Oh, there's some more. And oh, they broke a wall, so they can actually get to me now. You idiots. But yeah, did you see the scatter on some of those shots though? They were terrible. Oh, there's the other one. Luckily, the suit's keeping anyone from getting hurt, but still, when they get munched on, it does cost stamina instead. So stamina is how long the crew member can go before outright collapsing. And that can happen as well. So it's not a good thing. There it is. We've almost got this ship. There's nothing really interesting here so far. Yeah, this is just the last bit I have to clear. Oh, I know, there's a bit up there too. Never mind. Just come on, guys. I mean, Leela's almost passing out from exhaustion, honestly. And I've got a complaint saying nowhere to rest. That's because, A, because I've got everyone drafted here. B, it's all depressurized. C, it's not mine. So, that's why there's a crew warning going on. These sweep and clear actions, they don't go as quickly as all that, but there we go. We've explored everywhere. It's now available for salvage. There's also something here we can pick up, like little pads. These offer credits and data as well. So yeah, new data log and stuff like that. Now, I could manually tell them to get back, but I'll do it this way instead because I think it's easier on me. I just undraft them all. They're going to start complaining because they can't do anything, but I'll undraft the shuttle too. Now, the shuttle can automatically be used to ferry them back, and notice they're all immediately making a beeline towards the shuttle. Off you go, kiddies. You can all go home. However, I have actually not given them anywhere to rest yet, so there is that. Whoopsie. I was kind of focused on doing that, as I didn't actually set any build orders. Okay, so, people need to sleep. They need beds. I can give them bunk beds if I want, or standard beds. They can collapse on the floor if I don't give them that. They need comfort, so there's seating and things. They need food, which is under facilities. They actually need to go potty, so there's toilets too. You know, this is full-fledged simulation kind of thing. Let's see, I've got... I'll do that because I've got 6 people. Install a kitchen. There, I'll leave a little gap so people can move around a bit more freely. And I need to provide seating and table space for everyone too, because they all go and rest and eat at the same time. So that's also a thing. The last thing I need really is... pop that one there. I'll install a chair here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 if I give them some tables. Like so. Yeah, that should work for 4 people. And I guess I'll install a couch, like... yeah, big round couch with a table there. That's not exactly the most space efficient thing, but all of this, got to remember, is temporary stuff that I'm working on. But that'll serve for a lot of it, and I will need to get some power up here because for the tutorial, it's not power. There isn't a power grid operational in this area, so instead I'll just put a big blocky power transformer there. It takes up space. It doesn't really fit in, but it's got a bigger range than the other options, which are the wall-based ones, like that, and the floor-based ones, which people can walk over. So, you know, there are options and things, but we've got some construction going on. Just let them take care of that, and they'll probably go straight to sleep if they can. I mean, I think we've got a bit before they actually go on break time and stop doing stuff. Now, the tutorial has moved on to say link a power node. That's because you need to manually link everything. So you do this by getting into link mode, you select the thing, and you can just link it to something that's in reach. So this is in reach, and the power generator itself is in reach. I'm going to link this one. With a two-way link, you can set up one-way links, which are a way to help with power management and stuff. But that has a small internal battery, which is charged by the power generator, and the power generator runs off NG rods. Thing is, though, that's a limited resource, so you've got to watch out for that too. Come on, guys, get all that stuff up, please. You needs it. Okay, that'll do. That'll do for now. Don't worry, I'm going to continue to modify this area with a little bit more, which is further into the build list. It will just tell me to do this, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to actually expand the hole slightly. It'll auto delete the walls in place and expand it that way. And that's just so I can separate off a bathroom kind of thing. Should I bother with that? Yeah, might as well. I'll do it like that. So just editing mode. And they'll go and get in the worker bees and get that built up onto the side of my ship. So off they go. And they're starting work. Luckily, when they do this, it's actually sealed, so you know the environment isn't lost or anything like that. Otherwise, it might be a bit of an issue. Facilities XL toilets. Sorry, not XL, X1. I don't know if there's other stuff in the game, but X1 is what we got. I'll install a floor power node there just to be sure, and I'll let them get built up before I install walls and give them some privacy and stuff like that. There we go. Link and link. You're done. So the last thing I'm going to do, though they're about to hit day's end, is I'm going to tell them to install some walls and doors and things of the internal nature. So I'll put one down here for quick access in that direction. I'll put one down like here, and then I'll separate it off because walls can be used to create separate rooms and separate containment areas because the vents can help to limit gas flow and stuff. So I'll do it like that. And then I'll install one over here. So right now I want them open just because there's nothing toxic going on. So they should be fine, right? Right? Famous last words, yes? Yes, famous last words. That'll do. Don't need that one though. Just get rid of it. Yeah, get rid of that door there. Because I forgot that that was not a wall there, so that thing got in the way a little bit, but that's okay. I'll also do as it's demanding and build a light so that people can see, because if an area is not well lit, people, you know, they can't see what they're doing, they're not as happy, that kind of stuff. I suspect it can increase accident things, but it does slow down production and stuff like that, so it's generally a good idea to at least have lights to let people see what the hell they're doing. I mean, I'm not don't know about you guys, but I don't think personally I would like enjoying like working in a pitch black room, you know. But yeah, see, now they're just like eating some food, and they're all on break time in their schedule, so they're just going la-di-da-di-da, and then they're going to go to bed. So more power to them, I suppose. Thing is, though, when they're on rest time or break times, they don't actually work. So that's something I need to be aware of as I go forwards. And there they go, all to sleep. Now, if I look at the crew schedules, yeah, see, I can customize this, but right now it's shift on, shift off. I don't think I have enough of a crew to really warrant having some people separated, except for maybe running a few things when other people are sleeping. It depends. But they're resting. They're not very comfortable because all this uncomfortable stuff is in the same place. But once they get all those walls up, this will be a much better living space for them. I think that chair can actually go now. I think it's also blocking people going past it. There we go. Hey! Got it. Let's move on, though, and get the mining pods out. So I'm just telling them to harvest everything. I don't really care what kind of order they do it in. But there are some more things I do need to set up, which is... I never set up the water purifier. This is a manual task thing, so I could have it running constantly. I could run it when I want it to, but I'm going to tell it if we have less than 10 of a vital resource, which water is, you will start refining. So that'll do that. The oxygen, I think, yeah, oxygen's fine. Carbon thing is fine. It's got a little bit of carbon produced from the CO2. So, you know, that kind of thing. Notice now the pods are being spoken for. People are actually going off and mining. And they're going to go and harvest the raw materials for me. This asteroid shall be mine. Yes. The other thing we need to do, though, is, of course, salvage. So, I can tell the salvage, I can either start salvaging the material, so this will scrap modules in it, scrap the outer hull as well. It tells you roughly how much kind of things you'll expect from it. And transfer is, they'll automatically start packing up stuff to transfer it back to my ship as it becomes available. And there's also the resources which are just lying loose in the thing, like there's a corpse from one of the monsters I shot. And there's random supply crates that were lying around, like there's some there, and there's some over there. So I can get some water, I can get some food supplies, I can get some random blocks, I can get all sorts of odds and ends in this thing. I'm not sure what the best way to go about this is, but one thing I've noticed is if they're scrapping stuff and they're set to auto-transfer, they'll scrap it and then they'll take the scrap materials back to the airlock, so that could present an extra bit of trip rather than if they stand there and then just go scrap something else immediately. So I'm going to turn off the transfer for the moment. I don't know what transfer whole scrap really does, but I'm going to tell people to start scrapping this. And I'm also going to transfer back the existing materials that are lying around as well, because it's all pre-processed stuff, so, you know, it might be useful. But as you can see, the shuttle goes. My people go. They are going to get the stuff. And they'll generally send as many people as that are free to go and do that. People tend to be pretty good at prioritising their tasks, but basically, yes, scrapping down the engines and then immediately just going and scrapping down more stuff instead of like shipping all the materials back. So, you know, that's why I think doing it that way might be more efficient in general. It just means you're batching the process up, really. The people going back and forth, by the way, are the ones that are collecting loose cargo. So that's the thing. But, yeah, the ship's going to fly back by itself unless someone wants to go back to my ship. This thing has a decent autopilot on it. Just have to wait for it to get full. And they'll continue to stock stuff at the airlock. Yep, she wants to go back. She wanted to go back. That's why it's waiting. Are you wanting to go back as well after you've done your job? I think you... yeah, off you go. Why is that? Is it rest time? Oh, it was in a circling pattern because I've only got the one dock point. Yes, it is break time. That's why everyone came back. And someone's unconscious. Oh, she must have been super tired and she ran out of oxygen or something. Oh dear. Oh, she's also starving. Spacesuit fatigue. Yeah, she's kind of had trouble. Okay. Something else we'd need, which is kind of vital though, is we need to get food production rolling, because I kind of neglected to do that, and so I think we're actually running low on materials for that. We've got some spare space food ration packs because some were shipped across, but notice that Layla, literally it says starving in her stats, so she's not been able to eat, and she's very hungry. I guess I should feed the peasants, shouldn't I? That should be under food. Autopsy table can produce human meat from dead bodies and monster meat from monster corpses. It's not very good. As it says there, eat at your own risk. But I can actually sell them to some of the NPC traders though, so there is a reason to do that. I can't sell the corpses, they just sit there. So it's a good idea to do so. But I should see... Oh yeah, they do go up against the sides quite nicely. Whereas the big ones, you actually need to have space around them. Okay, let's do some prep work then. Let's get some stuff going. CO2 producer produces CO2 in the environment, so that helps because the plants need light, suitable temperature, light, and CO2 levels to operate. Works best in closed room with a CO2 producer and thermal regulator. No external light needed. So that's a plan. I think I know what I'm going to do. The problem is, of course, it auto-deletes the walls as I work on stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gotta remember this stuff is temporary. So something like that. And yeah, it auto-deletes the walls. I wish it didn't do that, but it does. But the work crews will get on that, and you guys will have food supplies soon. Rejoice! Luckily, food beds don't actually need tech blocks, as I recall. I'm seriously thinking of installing an airlock door into that area just so that I can maintain CO2 environment just for better plant growth. I think so. I'll do better plant growth. Yeah, all it needs is info blocks. Another bit of a rare one, but not as rare as could be. Also, I want to change the order, so don't bother transferring stuff just yet. Just get all the stuff scrapped, if you'd be so kind. Thank you. And one of the pods is working on that. I don't know where the other pod's got to. Oh, yeah, one of them's going off mining, the other one's building stuff. Fine. No, I do need to replace those walls. Wall. Plop. Plop. Spacesuit door. I'm going to install that one. Yep, we're going to install that there. And the thing is that they spacesuits walls, there is actually a spacesuit locker, which can give them a convenient place nearby to grab spacesuits from. So I think I'll just install one at the side of that, like just there. That way they don't really have to go very far at all if they want to go and grab a spacesuit, just to go through that lock. You know? Though I think we might be running... No, walls just need tools. Are we running short on hull pieces? No, we got plenty. It's just taking a while to do because lack of pods. We'll be fine. We'll get our growing room up soon. TM. All the mining's done though, so that just leaves the salvage work. So yeah, we're actually getting close to being done with this area. Oh, no, we've got the autopsy table. I'm going to tell you to... Yeah, you'll auto-butcher any monster corpses I have around, so that's good. And we've not got any human corpses around either, so... Oh well. So, food. I'm going to supply you people with food. because I am a gracious overlord. Or something. Thing is, these guys will need a bucket load of power and stuff like that. So this is going to be a dense grow room, but it's going to be a functional one. And I just need to get a CO2 module in there too, just like that. So yeah, that should be good for now. It's just waiting for people to sort out what I've got and what I've not. I'm probably overstretching my resources, if I'm going to be honest. We can always scrap stuff and get the resources back if needed. But I'm afraid that is also the end of this particular part, because we're at the half-hour mark. So, this is Space Haven. Yep, this has been Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. And I'll catch you all some other time as our little bucket of bolts continues to grow and maybe get ready to go somewhere. Oh yeah, power grid. I keep forgetting that sometimes. Fuel. No, not fuel. In-floor power grid. That should be great for this. I'll just plant it there. Yeah. See you all later.